In meetings, one addict shares and another addict survives. Sharing isn't just talking, it's honesty, courage, and connection. And it might be the most powerful tool we have in recovery. Hi, I'm a recovering addict named Steve, and this is On Life's Terms. Addiction isolated us. Recovery connects us. And one of the most powerful ways we stay connected is through the spiritual principle of sharing. Today we're going to talk about what sharing means in recovery. Not just telling our stories in meetings, but opening up our lives, our struggles, and our hope in ways that help us and others grow. When we were in active addiction, most of us lived in silence. We didn't tell people the truth about what we were going through. We hid behind lies, excuses, and masks. Sharing honestly felt dangerous. If we told you who we really were, you'd reject us, or so we thought. In Narcotics Anonymous, we learned a different way. Sharing becomes a tool for freedom. When we speak honestly about what's going on inside, we break the chains of secrecy and shame. Instead of isolating, we connect. Instead of carrying the burden alone, we let others help carry it with us. Do you remember the first time you really shared in a meeting? For many of us, it was terrifying. Our voices shook, our hands sweated. We thought people would laugh, or judge us, or look down on us. But what usually happens? Silence. Nods of understanding. Maybe someone comes up after the meeting and says, "Thank you, I needed to hear that." That's the miracle of recovery. Our darkest secrets, when shared, can become someone else's light. What once brought us shame can bring us freedom. Sharing is honesty in action. In the first step, we admitted our powerlessness. That admission is a form of sharing. Finally telling the truth out loud about something we could no longer deny. But it doesn't stop there. We keep practicing honesty by sharing how we feel, what we're going through, and where we need help. Sometimes it's simple. I'm having a rough day. Other times it's deep. I'm afraid I'm going to relapse. The principle of sharing pushes us past pride and ego. It reminds us we don't have to look perfect. We just have to be real. Recovery is not just about us. It's about carrying the message to the addict who still suffers. When we share, we're doing exactly that. Maybe someone new is in the room, hearing their story in your words. Maybe they're wondering if this program could work for them. Your courage to share might be the spark that keeps them coming back. We don't need to have it all figured out. We just need to speak from the heart. In recovery, the simple words, "me too," can change someone's life. And it's not just about helping others. Sharing helps us. When we speak our truth, we let go of the weight inside us. The more we hide, the heavier it gets. But the more we share, the lighter we feel. Sharing also helps us hear ourselves. Sometimes we don't even realize how much pain we're carrying until the words come out. Speaking gives shape to the things inside us, and once they're in the light, they lose their power. That's why we say we are only as sick as our secrets. Sharing heals us from the inside out. Sharing doesn't always mean standing up in a meeting. It shows up in many ways. Talking with a sponsor when we're struggling. Calling another addict just to check in. Writing honestly in our step work. Opening up in prayer or meditation. Even sharing a ride to a meeting or a meal after is a form of giving ourselves to others. The principle of sharing is bigger than words. It's about generosity. It's about giving our time, our presence, and our hearts. Of course, sharing doesn't always come easy. We might hold back because of fear. What if they judge me? Or pride. I don't want to look weak. Sometimes shame tells us we're different, that nobody else will understand. But here's the truth. Every addict in recovery has felt those same fears. When we share anyway, we discover that people don't reject us. They embrace us. And the very things we thought made us unworthy are what connect us most deeply. The spiritual principle of sharing doesn't stop when the meeting ends. We share with our families by showing up differently. We share with our coworkers by practicing honesty and respect. We share with newcomers by giving rides, exchanging numbers, or just listening. And we share with the world simply by living clean. Every day we don't use is a living testimony that recovery is possible. Whether we speak it or not, our lives become the message. Sharing is powerful, but so is listening. The balance of recovery is that we learn to do both. Sometimes the most spiritual thing we can do is to stay quiet and give space for someone else's story. Sharing isn't about dominating, it's about contributing. It's about creating a space where honesty, hope, and healing flow freely between us. In recovery, sharing isn't optional, it's survival. When we stop sharing, we start isolating. And when we isolate, the disease of addiction creeps back in. That's why we're told, keep coming back, not just to sit in a chair, but to share our experience, strength, and hope. Every time we speak, we strengthen our recovery and give courage to someone else. The spiritual principle of sharing teaches us that we don't have to do this alone. Our pain can become someone else's hope. Our struggles can become someone else's strength. And our voices together carry the message that recovery works. So keep sharing. Share when you're scared. Share when you're struggling. Share when you're grateful. Share it all. Because in recovery, nothing is wasted. I'm Steve, a recovering addict, and this is On Life's Terms. Thank you for letting me share. No matter where you are in your journey, day 1 or year 20, you belong here. On Life's Terms is about living honestly, loving deeply, and walking this path together. If you felt seen in this video, hit follow. Tell your story in the comments. Someone out there needs to hear it.